Hello guys, how you doing? Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the comments if you can hear me well and I'll change it. But guys, I know why you've all clicked on this. Unfortunately, it is true. Chelsea have agreed to agreed to join the Super League campaign. I haven't seen one football fan, not Chelsea fan, football fan that wants to be a part of this deal. To me, I'm gutted. Um, I know I look like a pilot right now. I look like a tramp with my hair, but you know what? I don't care. There's other things to moan about today. If you just joined, Chelsea have agreed to join the Super League alongside 11 major football clubs. As you can see on the side of me, what clubs have joined. Guys, this is an open debate. If you want to join this video, I'm going to put it up here. Just click this link and you can join. I'm going to get a group of Chelsea football fans. You know what? You don't have to be a Chelsea fan. I want to hear your voice. Everyone is fuming. I am fuming. I do not want this to happen. But I want to. Wow, there's more people coming. Chelsea have joined the Super League. I've got a beautiful panel coming on in a minute, guys. If you want to join this video, click the link below. But you don't have to be a Chelsea fan. Any fans welcome, because all football fans need to unite together and stop this stupid cup. Stupid cup. It's wrong for the fans. It's wrong for the players. There's going to be punishments from UEFA and FIFA. If Chelsea join us, it's potentially some players will be banned for playing for FIFA. So they won't be allowed to play for the International Cup. They won't be allowed to go to the Champions League. And it's possible, not confirmed, but it's not possible. So it's possible that we might be banned for playing in the Premier League. And imagine Chelsea not in the Barclays Premier League. This is horrible, man. I just can't believe it. Money's won. But before I carry on, we've just got to think Roman Abramovich always loves Chelsea FC. So there's got to be a good reason for this. There's got to be a plan that Roman Abramovich sees for this to work. The fact that we're going to have a threat to be taking out the Champions League and Barclays Premier League, there must be a plan from the Chelsea Football Club board. It must be a plan for the future for this to work, because they would lose a lot of money being kicked out of the Champions League and Premier League. And Chelsea fans are going to go mental. Look how many of you are signing on. Look, no one's happy. Look, £1 billion, stop it. Look, no one wants this deal to happen. No one. So guys, let me know in the comments or join this panel if you want to say your thing. This is not just for Chelsea fans. This is for all football fans, because I think football fans need to unite to stop this stupid cup. Think about me for the YouTube channel. I've got to go to more games and stuff. I know that doesn't sound too bad, but we've got to do more work and stuff. Like, no one wants to do this, man. We want to enjoy football. Think about the players. They've got to play even more games. They've got to be crossing the country, go to other countries, be more have more time away from their families. They're not even fit enough to play 2 games a week now. It's just a disaster, man. But guys, let me bring on the panel today, because this is terrible. I am so pissed off. You don't understand. As a YouTuber, this is long enough. As a Chelsea fan, I can't afford to go to more games, and the players just look exhausted. So I'm just so pissed off. I want other people to talk, because I am fuming. Like, guys, welcome on the panel. Guys, I know there's a lot of people that trying to make it one at a time, but I'll try and make it one at a time. But boys, is there anyone here that's actually happy with this?
No,
So happy.
not at all.
Not at all, man.
Joke.
Created by the poor, stolen by the rich. That's what we got into. And the fact that it's all money-oriented basis. Like Sammy said earlier, they didn't think about the especially the match-going fans week in, week out. You know how hard it is to spend a lot of money, especially if you are match-day going fans like me, Sammy. I don't know who went to the All Chelsea game. Maybe Ben. I think we're spending a loads of chunks of money traveling around the world to see Chelsea. Not only that, and the fact that this news could not come on a worse time after a day. We progressed to FA Cup final a few days after we progressed to semi-final of the Champions League, and a game before the Brighton game. It could not come at a worse possible time.
especially where you would think that it's possible for how well things have gone at Chelsea. Tuchel's come along. It looks like we're starting to gel. And Tuchel's like confirmed the other day. He was like, "Oh, next year, I'm not going to allow this gap to be behind City. We're going to come after you." So it looks like Tuchel's planning to win the league next year. And now we're getting threats that Chelsea might be kicked out of the Premier League. There's going to be some thought of punishment if we join the Super League, and that terrifies me.
If we win this Champions League, it ain't even going to feel special. I can't lie. I ain't even going to be gassed.
Yeah, because we kicked out of it next year.
It's not about that.
It'd be the last. Actually, it should be special. It'd be the last. It'd be the last trophy last time we'd be in the competition.
20 years ago, we like before Roman Abramovich, we were a mid-table Premier League club. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
What gives us the right to play every single game now against Barcelona, Real Madrid, those teams? There's no relegation. We lose all games. Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
that's why I'm fuming. What about Burnley? What about Leicester? What about those clubs?
It's just not fair. Like, it's just no one wants this to happen. In football, there's no right.
Feels like
everyone has different opinions in football. Like, no one agrees. But this is the first time in history I've seen 100%.
There's going to be right.
This is the first time I've seen a whole football fan base all agree on the same decision. No one wants this to happen.
Absolutely.
Imagine like going to away games in England is long enough. So imagine traveling to Europe for the players, and then as the fans, because you're going to get these. There's these fans that feel guilty. There's fans that because I work in YouTube and I go to many games and stuff. I have the privilege to meet loads of types of Chelsea fans. There's some that go every week, once a month. There's some Chelsea fans that have a guilt in their heart if they can't attend. It's weird. Like, they go to every single game possible. They go to all the European. They go to the Russia away, even in the Europa League games. They have like a guilt, and it's part of their culture. They have to go to every Chelsea game. So even though it sounds silly because football is a choice, there's going to be Chelsea fans that are going to be pressured to go to these Juventus away, all these Super League away cups. And right now, we're just not at a time where we should be spending more money traveling. It's just so stupid.
Not only that, stupid. For me, it's not easy for me to travel across Europe. I had to do lots of applications to go travel across Europe. You and Ben might be the easiest one to you can go anywhere, but it's the amount of the extra time that we put in for this. If it does happen, like the amount of time and the cost itself, it's not gonna be that cheap though. But
no,
jeez, man,
no,
I'm speechless at this point though.
Same.
But the thing is about Roman, he loves the club, so there's got to be a plan that we just don't know about. Like, I do believe we're going to get kicked out of something in some way. We're going to be kicked out of the Champions League or Premier League somehow. But I do believe for Roman to know that and still join the Super League, he must have a plan where he must think, you know what, in 2 years' time, this league is going to be massive. No one's going to care about the Premier League. There's got to be a plan. Like, it just doesn't make sense for this to happen. There's got to be something.
The only comment I heard that supports the European Super League was apparently 20 years ago, no one wanted the Premier League. And now it's the most watched and the best league in the world.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they're thinking.
Yeah.
But still, it's not enough. It's not. No. It's still
the thing is, what I don't get is, like, you take away one of the most precious competitions of the world, right? Champions League is probably the most viewed competition in the world, right? You can go blimey Africa, they'll know what Champions League is. For those cheeky little rats that's making so much money and think, you know what, I'm gonna put more in you. I want more. Let's just get our own league, right? Those people that are like your Chelsea, Arsenal, City, we're making that much money. Let's see what we can do with this money. It upsets me because it just not only drains the game, it just comes to the point like no point watching footy. Just make sure you don't turn up to a game, get the revenues down, let them open their eyes the hard way. That's the way I look at it. Which is unfortunate because at the end of the day, why would you want to take away the most precious blooming European trophy as we speak? It's probably the best European trophy. best trophy to win, really, in any club. And the worst bit is,
100%.
these clubs like Wolves, Leicester, they want to be in the Champions League. They might not even get that chance again now. You know what I mean? That's the worst bit.
Especially where we thought things were about to go good.
Yeah, I know.
We've built
It's
this
like
beautiful
now
team. We've got
we win a
Tuchel in.
we have to
Things
remember,
start
win
to
a
look great.
semi-final for a long time. The last time we win a semi-final was 7 years ago, right? That could all go for nothing right now. Potentially, it could just all be all for nothing. For those making plans of watching the game, it'll just be upsetting for myself and those trying to watch the game. But it is one of them. These are about it never was bound to happen. But the people that are making money, they know it's about to come. This day was coming. You know, it was only a matter of time. But they don't really care about us, anyways. It's unfortunate, really. Honestly, I understand the pandemic has like affected the clubs and the revenues financially. You know, there's no TV commercial, there's no people coming in the stadium, so you're gonna have lack of revenues. So the only money you're coming in is from TV. I understand that side of it, but that doesn't mean you should take away the best league competition probably around. It doesn't make sense. Why would you? And why? And again, the UEFA are introducing this thing of 36 teams getting away to 32. I don't get it. It all comes down to money. They already get enough money as it is, but it just comes back to greed, doesn't it? It's evil. Honestly,
And why change it when it's working?
It's all greed.
Why change it when it's working? Like everyone, we all love how football is right now. Like we have the Premier League, we have the Champions League. We all love it, right?
Yeah.
Why should we change it? Just keep it the same.
There's so many things that can change, like VAR.
It just comes down to greed.
Why this? Out of all things,
I hate
VAR. I thought VAR was bad already, but this one's the worst, honestly.
Anyways,
their website's all set up, as you can see here. Let's have a little look on their website. The best clubs, the best players every week. Competition format. Hey, look, this is what
that is a joke.
Competition format. The Super League is a new European competition between 20 top clubs, comprised of 15 founders and 5 annual qualifiers. So you just know it's going to grow into. It's going to have more clubs. It's going to have more clubs in the next year or something. It's got to be. I actually think it's a plan to be the new Champions League. Like they're going to dominate everyone, and then everyone's going to leave UEFA. That's what I personally think is going to happen. Because there's just no way Chelsea would sign up for something that would harm the club in the long run. There's got to be an agenda that the top 6 boards have all sat together and thought, you know what, let's bully UEFA. Let's make our own competition. If we get kicked out, no one cares because we're going to build this good league. That's the only logic reason this could happen.
But Sammy, they already signed it though. There's got to be a way at least to navigate around this, you know.
But like I said, Chelsea's something. Like I don't want to. I'm not digging at Arsenal or anything. But you know how we've laughed at Arsenal with their cronky, like not investing in players. United don't invest in the players. Where Roman Abramovich is an owner that every Chelsea fan loves because he always helps the club. So there's got to be some sort of positive. Because he always cares about the club. There's got to be something that I might be naive right now, but I just can't see a world where Roman would do Chelsea dirty like this. Would you guys?
There could be. Well, hey guys. Yeah, I was listening to you guys to sort of gauge an understanding of what everyone's opinions are and where we are. For me, I'm on the fence. I don't know, but I can see how it could benefit because if you think about it, with UEFA, they were putting in a lot of regulation. I think it was going to make it to 36 teams. I think the clubs, the bigger clubs, I think we're talking Real Madrid and them lot, probably said, no, we don't want to do that. They had a tug of war and they said, you know what, but you lot, we start our own league. And I think with UEFA, I think with this new league as well, I think what they're going to do is they're not going to do something what's called like the financial fair play, where you have to balance your books before you buy plays. It's going to be a free for all, meaning that you're going to have to, like, you can buy whoever you want if you've got the richest owners. If you're in that top 20 clubs. And I think what they've noticed is that the Champions League, if it's like a PSG versus a Bayern Munich, everybody will watch that against a Getafe versus a Villarreal, which may be good for their fans as well. They're probably thinking, their leagues, put it this way, in La Liga, I would say 60-70% of the revenue is coming from the top 2 teams, similar to how the Premier League is. The Premier League is a bit more even, but across the other European leagues, it's the top 2 or 3 teams. So they're thinking, you know what? We're carrying these lot. They're becoming a burden to us. So why don't we just start our own little league over there, and then put it on do it like an NBA type of style, no relegation, no promotions, generate more money into the thing, and make it a bit more competitive. That's the only logic that makes sense to me why they would do that. And
is that really true? Because PSG and Bayern, they didn't join.
But
PSG,
that's a big statement.
That is the only revenue.
Yeah, I think
that's the only revenue that those 2 leagues really get.
Yeah, I think with Bayern Munich, I think from what I'm hearing, half of the club of the German club in particular are owned by fans. So there is a backlash there by fans anyway. I don't know about Paris. I'm not too sure with them. But that's the only.
I don't think Paris Saint-Germain is owned by fans. I think the only ones that I know is the Spanish team and the German team.
Can I interject that? Can I interject that, Rajib? I agree with Ibrahim what he said.
Yeah,
that,
go for it.
There's a reason why Bayern Munich are declining because the few majority in their club are owned by some of the players. Karl-Heinz Rummenigge is a former Bayern Munich player. He is also one of the members of the board. So technically, like, this club doesn't own by the fans though. It only owned by the board.
I don't know about Bayern.
Funny one, that one.
It's tough. And I don't think that's what said.
You know, it's not surprising though. American owners being behind it. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, and it's going to grow into American League. We're going to be playing MLS.
It's gonna be like NBA.
We're going to be playing MLS next.
That is so true. That's a good point. That is a good point. MLS format is very, very similar.
This is just the start.
The MLS format is very, very similar. It makes sense.
It's like when we saw like electric cars on the road. You saw one smart car, and now you're seeing Tesla, Nissan, Golf all do it. This is how it all starts, isn't it? They're all going to get competitive. And in 10 years' time, we're going to be playing Corinthians in Brazil. Like it's all going to grow now. Like,
did any one of you guys hear Gary Neville talking today?
Yeah.
He was sound.
Big.
He was sound today.
He was brilliant.
Sound today. But not only can I add to the Gary Neville comments? Yeah, you have to forget the financial side for a minute. Yeah, but it's the excitement and the buzz that seeing your team, like seeing Chelsea qualify for a huge competition season after season with the world's biggest club participating in a part game of football. It's just like playing the same super teams every week. It does take the excitement of the game, though, honestly. It does. And I will not be surprised.
Look at Real Madrid. All of us
I will not be surprised
know how good Real Madrid is.
Tomorrow, honestly.
Look, we all know how good Real Madrid is, yeah? But because it's a club we've not faced in 23 years, we're all excited. Like, even though we have a bit, I think most of us are more fearful that they're going to smash us. But we're so excited for this game, innit? And it's a shame we can't go to the Bernabeu, we can't go to their stadium, but it's just a fixture that's rare to us. And we're excited.
We never
Atletico, we haven't faced him in a few years. Porto, it's been about 5 years. It's like, it's exciting. Now, if we're going to play Juventus, Barcelona, Real Madrid every year, it just kills the fun of the Champions League. It just kills it.
Can I just say I was excited?
Yeah, the European night is gone.
Yeah.
I'm hearing rumors that Champions League and Europa League might be postponed.
They want to kick us out.
Yeah.
UEFA want to kick it. This is competition. Super League is UEFA's competition, so they're going to do everything they can to stop this. And apparently FIFA... Are you talking now, really?
Yeah. I'm just hearing rumors.
It's like...
Can you imagine we beat Real Madrid, go to the final, for them to say, if you join this league, we're going to take away your trophy, or you're not going to the final.
It's like, I don't want to be nasty here. It's like we're holding... It's like... I don't want to be sound that really nasty or sounded rude though. It's like the UEFA, as if like we're the terrorists, and then we're trying to the club as a hostage. So if you didn't do this, you get killed. So basically like that. So if let's say if we agreed it, and then UEFA would kill us in everything. So we'll be killed in the Premier League. So we'll get cancelled. We'll get cancelled in the Premier League. We get cancelled in the Champions League. And we get cancelled all around. The FA Cup, we might get cancelled though.
Bloody hell.
Outside tomorrow. I would not be surprised if anyone want to go protest at this time. Honestly, God. Imagine at 1 a.m. you want to go out protest to the club. I would not be surprised at all. I would do it though. Honestly, I would.
Book a flight to London. Go protest next to Stamford Bridge.
I don't think.
Honestly, what's the benefit though? Like, what's the benefit of joining? It's nothing at all.
They get a lot.
Is there any benefit for the fans? For the owners, I think the only
More
benefit
watch-alongs.
is money. And
Both Chelsea
fact
content.
is-
Hey.
the fact is that money
It's
moves
just
things,
Krakow.
and it's greed.
Oh, I can't see him.
It's greed. So yeah.
Full on breathe.
What's up, Kwaku?
Yo, what's everyone saying? You good?
Not really.
Yes, bro. How you doing? Bro,
Yeah.
talk to me. Kwaku, what's your thoughts on this?
Wild, absolutely wild. So, was at work when it was all breaking and it was kicking off. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Obviously, the tapestry of football in this country is sacred in terms of the records, in terms of the history, in terms of everything about it. And with this proposal, with the Super League, it's gonna completely tear that at the seams. Obviously, it's all fueled by money, as everything in this world is. I'm sure everybody's seen the Gary Neville kind of monologue going on about it, which I can't disagree with. Obviously, it's things up in the air at the moment. I don't think we know the full picture. We know that it's going to be 15 teams initially who are going to kind of have those divine places, and then 5 teams kind of having the ability to qualify year in, year out. But in terms of the competition element of football, it's completely tore it apart. I don't know one football fan I've talked to. My phone's been dinging. I've been talking to all my friends about it. I haven't come across one fan that's in agreement that this is going to be a good thing. Obviously, we love our club, and our club are part of this kind of breakaway league, and we're going to back our club no matter what. But in my personal, humble opinion, I don't think it's going to be good for football overall.
What happens to English football? That's the big question.
I don't know. It kills everything, because my greatest memories are going to watch Chelsea in Champions League finals, Champions League semi-finals, going to kind of follow the club and feel part of the club. And with this, it's almost disregarding the fans. And people ask questions as if like, why now? It's simple. Why now? It's because the fans aren't in the stadium to make noise, to disapprove of that. Like I remember when it was last season, and people want to criticize fan channels or whatever. I remember Ty from AFTV talking about their Project Restart, and he's like, why are we coming back? Because football without fans is nothing. Like, this is just going to cause a bigger issue in the long run. And we see it play fruition right now. We see the fact that there are no fans in the stadium. Fans have almost been disregarding this aspect. It's it's testament to times we're living in. If those fans in the stadium, I'm guaranteed that there wouldn't be enough to maneuver like this.
I just want to call out someone. If there's anyone on the comments or on this stream who likes this idea, I beg you, speak out. Like, I'm not even just to beef you. I want to actually hear your deluded thoughts. Actually, I don't want to say that. I don't want to discourage anyone.
Don't say deluded. Yeah, it's their own thoughts, but
I would love to hear your honest thoughts. Yeah, I don't want to scare anyone. I want to hear your honest thoughts. I'll put the link. You know what? I never do this because I only do patrons for the live streams, but I'm actually... Let me get it up on here.
Wait, just a quick question.
This link, if you want to join us, if you like this idea of a Super League, please click this link.
Yeah, just a quick question, guys. Is there a relegation?
We all clicked it. Okay.
Work on.
Wait, is there a relegation from this league? Like, is there going to be, let's say you finish at the top of your respective domestic leagues, do you then qualify to enter that European league?
Nah.
There's no promotion or relegation.
It's nothing to do with current leagues.
Yeah,
It's the NBA format.
It's similar.
Yeah.
It's similar to the Nations League, but obviously there's no groups. I think that's the way I can put it. You know how we have the
Whoever's
Nations League. Think of it like that, but with no groups.
yeah. It's
Nations League format. Yeah, Nations League format.
it's totally messed up, and like obviously people want to kind of talk about how, I don't know, it's going to destroy the Premier League. I think it's going to destroy football as a whole, really, in terms of what people strive for. When you see teams like Leicester, I know it's a rarity, but you see Leicester go and do what they did, or you see teams cause upset in cup competitions. There's going to be no FA Cup. There's going to be no Carabao Cup for the big teams anyway. And I feel like that's what makes football. The fact that we're in an FA Cup final, we'll get a trip to Wembley, or like we're not going to be there, but we get to see our team play in Wembley. It's the whole thing is mad. And I know there's a lot of like when these kind of proposals come out, there's a lot of doubt that it's actually going to go ahead. But clubs don't make statements lightly. Like Chelsea wouldn't come out and make a statement if the team weren't going ahead. So like there might be some opposition, but right now I don't see how anybody could block this. This thing is going ahead, and we're just going to have to kind of deal with it and see where it takes us.
Gary Neville said if it didn't work out, we need to get relegated, all the big six. You guys heard any of those comments?
Yeah.
We should.
Gary, that was a good one.
I agree.
I agree
100%. I don't see why not. Let them evil little Iraqis making money, thinking, why would our team get relegated? Okay. Let's just think about doing something else then. If we're going to get relegated and the other big teams do, let's just take some action and let's think about the hard way to get rid of this silly league, this little stupid European league. And then they'll learn the hard way. They're not getting the revenue in. And then people are not going to be coming into stadiums. They're not going to be watching games. They're not going to be getting tickets, all sorts, when fans come back in. They'll learn the hard way. So I don't mind getting relegated.
Don't you think if let's say we're in a normal time, like before the pandemic, do you think that it could have been different though, without if we're in a normal time, let's say without pandemic, I would say?
No,
I think so because I don't think fans.
The pandemic made it easier. The pandemic made it easier, I think.
Yeah, pandemic made it so much easier because they saw the model. Obviously, the clubs aren't operating at like maximum capacity in terms of profit, but the pandemic made them sit back and realize, like, yo, we're still making money, and the fans aren't in the stadium. Obviously, they tried that project, big picture or whatever, where they tried to charge fans pay-per-view, and it didn't work, and they reneged on that. But like, I think the pandemic has definitely made it easier for them to put this across, because if those fans in the stadium, say we've got Brighton and there's or whatever, like next games for whatever team it is. The fans are going to be voting with their feet and with their voices. They're going to be disapproving, but there's no fans in the stadium to voice any disapproval. It's kind of like, we're going to do this and you're going to eat it, you're going to have to take it. And it's just it's wild. It's a completely wild one.
Why Arsenal, not Leicester? That's the question now. Like, Leicester last 5 years have been doing really well. Okay, Arsenal are a big club. Why Tottenham, not Leicester?
Yeah. So, who knows? It's money.
I've never heard of Leicester.
It doesn't make any sense at all. And also,
Leicester won't make any money.
Yeah.
The only Leicester shirts out of England are Algerians with Mahrez on it. Like, that's why they don't care. It's all about money, innit? Promotion.
I'm still
Arsenal are not a good team anymore, but the whole of Africa adore Arsenal. So that's why it's all promotion, innit? It's all promotion.
Yeah,
I'm still flabbergasted. Like, why the timing is now? Like, why the timing is that for the announcement though? Why not? Why today though? It's not.
It's stupid time, because imagine we get kicked out just before possibly going to a final or winning it. Well, it's thanks for the super chat.
I didn't mind if that made the announcement at the end of the season. If this announcement was made, like, I'll say maybe just after the Euros this season, I actually do not mind it. Well, obviously, I will mind, obviously, that, you know, not everyone's okay with the idea of doing this little European league, but, you know, it's the fact that we could potentially not be playing Real Madrid. We potentially could be playing no Champions League. That's the worst bit. We could potentially, you know, at this rate, we feel like watching the final.
Yeah.
Quaker, would you like to read this super chat out?
So from the sources I've seen, if we go back after going into this, all the 6 clubs would be relegated into the top of non-league football. So I'm not too sure what that means, but I know Gary Neville's talking about it in terms of he wants all the teams to get relegated or get points deducted or whatnot. And we just literally I got a message from Joe, who normally hosts like some of these shows, saying that there's a potential that PSG could be crowned Champions League champions within the next couple of days. Which again, I'm not too sure if that's true or not. I don't know how verified that is, but
wow,
it's thrown everything into disarray, and especially the timing of it is crazy. Like it's absolutely mad. Especially the Champions League has been great this year without fans. We've seen kind of the emergence of new talents, whether it be Phil Foden or whether it be Haaland. We've seen like young players coming through, and to kind of tear that all apart because of greed and because of selfishness is, I don't know. It's just something that's kind of rocked me today.
Big up Christo in the super chat. Thanks. But guys, let me just say something. I've known Lewis for years. 9 out of 10, I disagree what the clown says. 9 out of 10. Like, I like Alonso. He hates Alonso. He likes Werner. I hate Werner. Sorry, and I'm Conte. We always disagree.
They're all
please, Lewis. Please. We've got to be on the same page for this one, surely.
I mean, like, from a fan's perspective, this stinks, and I completely
good. Thank God for that. Good.
From a fan's perspective, this absolutely reeks, and none of us are going to agree or like it. What I will say, though, is from a club's perspective, a financial perspective, we're in a better position than a lot of other clubs.
Yeah.
So, for me, I understand fans being pissed off with the whole circumstance of everything and the fact that there's going to be a lot more away games that fans can't go to. And it's kind of, what's the right word to say with the Super League? It's made it harder. It's ruined football as a whole. But from a club's perspective, and for the teams in the Super League, it only really stands to make them better, make them more attractive, make them more marketable as clubs. So for me, it's like, I'd be fuming, even more fuming than anybody else is right now if we weren't in the Super League. We are in it. So at the very least, we're financially safe. That's one thing we can take out. But we don't risk losing our best players to other teams in the Super League. There's small positives to take out of it. In an absolutely shocking and shit situation, there's small positives to take out of it at the very least.
There's got to be a plan. Just before you came, Lewis, I said we've all laughed at United's owners, Kroenke at Arsenal. There's like owners that don't care about the fans or the club. They're just there to make money. Yes, Roman makes profit from Chelsea Football Club, and he deserves it. But he's an owner that cares about the fans, and he's got so much money, he doesn't care about profit. There's got to be a plan with this league in the long run. It might be small now. We might get kicked out of UEFA. There must be, in a few years' team, there's going to be so many people from the Premier League and other leagues go back in a way to join the Super League, and it's then in 10 years' time, this Super League is going to be the new norm. That's the only logic. For Roman to do this, he's got to have a good plan.
That's the thing. I think it is going to be the norm. Like, everyone's throwing their arms.
He's a mafia. He's got other ways.
Didn't they do the exact same thing for the Premier League when it first got announced? Didn't they do the first thing for the European Cup when it got announced? I feel like this is just exactly the same thing. People aren't happy because it ruins football as we know it right now. But football's always really been changed. I feel like, especially when it comes to football, people don't like change. People like the norm. And we've seen this so many times, even when it comes to recording fan cams outside the ground. People don't like things that aren't usually around in football. They like everything to stay the same. So they're seeing this, and typically they hate it. I think within 3 or 4 years, it's going to be the normal. And we're actually going to be happier that we were here in the first place.
It's going to go to America. It's going to be an MLS X Premier League next. Like, we're going to be facing Red Bulls, whatever they're called, and all
Red Bulls.
Yeah, we're gonna play them. It's the start of something new.
Yeah,
we're gonna have, and then in 10 years' time, it's gonna be a world club league. It's the start of new things now, and that's what I'm afraid of. The only good thing about it, if I don't know, if a brand wants to sponsor us and fly me and Lewis and Craig and the whole BLUESFANSTV team to do a brand deal to these away games, fair enough.
Well,
other than that, it's too much money to travel, man. It's not fair for the fans. It's not fair for the players. It's just.
I know. Like, from a fan's perspective, it means you can't realistically go to every match anymore. But there's more football as a result of it. and it's not meant to impact Premier League fixtures either, so you can still go and do your home and away fixtures like you always did. The only thing that you probably won't see is cup competitions, because if we're doing 15 separate midweeks, I don't really expect us to be in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup. Maybe the FA Cup, be nice to have a cup competition. Fuck the League Cup. Well, I don't give a shit whether we're in that or not, so who cares? I understand. If we were a Leicester City, I'd get exactly why we'd be fuming about this, because we've been locked off from something like this. But we haven't. We are in the position that everyone hates us for being in. And I get why people are annoyed, because it ruins football as we see it right now. But I'm trying to look at the positives of this, and it's not really as bad as people make it out to be honest. Like, I don't think it's that deep. I get it's deep from a footballing perspective, but from Chelsea, as a pure Chelsea fan, only looking at for the benefits and the negatives to the club, it's not really that deep.
Yeah, Roman's sitting there like, bro, I just spent 200 million on you guys this year. Let me get my
getting more money out of this. This is what I don't understand. The only thing that's the problem is that it kills European football in a sense, because all the clubs that we have right now that we're going to be competing with are now going to be in the same sort of problem when it comes to summer, that if they want to sell a player, they're not going to sell them to any Super League teams. They're going to get sent outside the Super League. So with us, we can only look for players outside the Super League either. So that means all the clubs in Europe, all of their players are up for sale, basically, because we're going to be the elite league. We're going to be the standard and the trademark that everyone wants to go up to. Everyone's going to be dreaming of going up to the Super League because there's more competition and there's more money there. So the problem is for the smaller clubs. It's not really for us.
But that's the thing. That's the big thing, though.
That's the thing, isn't it? Where
we've got options, isn't it?
Yeah, that's where the problem is. But all I'm saying here is, from a Chelsea perspective, it's not really that deep. From a footballing perspective, it is fucked. From a Chelsea perspective, like, if you're getting pissed for the sake of Chelsea, I don't get what you're getting pissed off about.
If it doesn't work, Lewis, you go back to supporting Fulham, me quicker to support Crystal Palace, isn't it?
Like, I've seen so many people say, I'm supporting Chelsea, now we're in the Super League. Like, shut up, man. You're going to be watching the Super League like everyone else.
But don't you get scared about the punishment that we're going to face, though, if we do join?
What punishment?
Would have known about the punishment.
They're going to kick. What? They're going to kick.
Know about it.
Are they going to end the Champions League now? Are they really going to end the semi-finals and the finals?
Thinking about it, Lewis is still in talks. At the minute, they're just postponing it at the minute.
They're not postponing it.
Anything can happen.
Those rumours aren't true. Those rumours aren't true.
Can you imagine a Premier League without Chelsea? City?
And by the way, do you think the Premier League are getting rid of the entire top six?
Yeah, they need it.
That's
why I'm angry. It's not.
That's one thing that I would say, because like with the Premier League, obviously this Super League proposed, we're going to do this alongside Premier League. The top six clubs are already complaining about too many games. So the way the Super League is devised is that there's going to be 2 leagues of 10 teams, and you play each other home and away. So that's 18 games minimum in your own league. Plus 38 Premier League games. I'm telling you, these guys, the Premier League's not going to exist if the Super League goes ahead, because they're not going to do it.
No, I understand what you're saying about how the squads might be too tight for it, but we're meant to be getting more money out of the Super League, so you adapt to that and you get a bigger squad that can match for both of the fixtures.
But I don't believe that the Premier League, because the Premier League have flat out come out and said they disagree, but I don't think the Premier League and the Super League can coexist in the same world.
They can coexist. The Premier League just doesn't want it to exist and is doing negotiation tactics by saying they're going to kick them all out. They are not going to kick them all out because marketably it makes such little sense and is damn near suicidal. Like, how do you make the European Super League even more marketable? By saying, okay, we're not going to have you in the Premier League. Now, the only place where you can go and watch the Big Six is at the European Super League. It makes it even more marketable. It makes it even more stronger. There's no way, unless the people who are running the Premier League are literally brain dead, that they're going to kick us out.
So you believe that the Premier League and the Super League are going to be played alongside each other? So that
the Premier League, it's not in their hands anymore. They don't have the power in this situation. They want to feel like they do, which is why they're doing these tactics, but they can't. So if they kick us out, So what? Are we going to go to the Super League and become more marketable, and then their TV deals are going to get even lower and lower because they haven't got the entirety of the top 6 to market?
So your belief is that the Premier League are going to kind of fold in the situation. They're going to say, yeah, we're going to allow the Super League to go ahead.
They have to.
They need it. They
for
need
their own
these
benefit. The big thing about the Premier League is the TV deals and the money from it. How marketable is that to you without the top 6?
Chelsea City. Do you know how much Arabs, the whole Arabia, Middle East watched it? Chelsea has the whole American fan base. Take away the top 4 clubs, 6 clubs. I told you, Arsenal's big in Africa. United's big in Asia. Take away them fan bases. Premier League's got no viewers. Like, no disrespect to the others, but there's no team.
That is true.
I will say they would have the potential that it could grow. It's just you have to be patient with it. Because another thing, if you take... What?
After Quicker says his point, can you read that super chat?
Yeah, go for it. Go on, Quaker.
Yes. So what I don't understand is obviously the Premier League, they might fold in this situation, but then from Chelsea's point of view, in terms of a self-serving point of view, what benefit will we reap from exerting energy and exerting players in a Premier League competition that's now been so devalued that it's secondary? Like, what I'm saying, long term, there's going to be a separation, because Chelsea will be like, if JP Morgan are willing to back the Super League and pay £6 billion to back this, or $6 billion, what are Chelsea going to sit back and be like, we can't play 24, 25 games a season and making 5 times more money than playing in the Premier League as well, where exerting more like competition, more kind of players for less money. I'm talking about the long term. There's going to be an inevitable breakaway, which is going to affect the tapestry of football, affect all the records that we kind of know, all the history that we kind of know about football. I understand that you think that people are resistant to change, but the history is what makes football not a sanitized game. The history is what makes football special. The fact that we can look back to 2012 and be like, yo, we won the Champions League. We can look back to 2005. We can look, you know what I mean? Like, the history of football is important to me anyway.
I know, but like, I feel like history and football in itself always changes. Like, I was already saying, like, I'm sure there was so many of these sorts of same claims when the European Cup first opened and the Premier League first opened. I feel like this is just another version of that. We're changing. The whole sport is changing, and people don't like change, which is why there's so many people who are massively against it. So why I'm trying to look at it from both sides, and I see the positives to it. Long term, the Super League is only going to get stronger and more marketable for ourselves, even for the sake of the Premier League. If you take the top 6 out, within 5 or 6 years, that becomes more competitive in itself. If anything, without anyone in the top 6, it instantly becomes more competitive. Although it just might look like Leicester City are going on a run with it. But
I don't think it's going to happen.
Go on.
You know why? Because every team is playing in Super League. Their players can't play for their country.
That's a load of bullshit as well. How are you going to have a World Cup without your best players in the world playing in it? There's no way FIFA.
See, that's one thing. That's what
I don't get. That's what I don't understand. Like, you tell players, like, that rule where you basically say, oh, this player can't domestically, if you're in a domestic cup, you can't play for your own country. You know, when the rule that comes in, I just don't feel that's a right thing. You know, I think they'll have to negotiate with that, surely. It's like, you know, like, your best player for your team can't play for another domestic league, or because of this new European League. They've got to somehow negotiate that, surely. And plus, you got the European Cup around the corner. You got the World Cup around the corner. You can't just make them players. You can't make those talents that you just generated. You just can't. They've got to negotiate something, surely. It doesn't sound right.
They won't do it. Like, they're all just bluffing. They're all bluffing because they're all scared. We didn't even know this was happening 24 hours ago. This is how quick everything's gone. They're all bluffing. If anything, they've probably been caught out by this as well. That's the way it looks like it to me, because they're all going around throwing empty threats that they can't go up on. Like, let's be real. Premier League is not getting rid of the top 6. FIFA are not getting rid of Mbappe and maybe not Mbappe. Ronaldo, Messi, fucking who else is even still in there?
Ibrahimovic and
Kai Havertz, Timo Werner. They're not getting rid of all of these players.
Yeah,
no way is that happening.
But that's not the issue. The issue is the Big Six or the Super League. They big balls the situation. They've come out and been like, "This is what we're doing. These are the agreements. These are terms and agreements. Do you agree with this?" They know that the Premier League are going to turn around and be like, "We don't agree with this," and then the Big Six or the Super League are going to turn around in 3 or 4 months' time and be like, "Okay, cool, that's calm. We're leaving. You don't have to kick us out. We're leaving." That's what's going to happen. That's what's essentially going to happen. So, like, regardless of if they get kicked out or they leave by their own accord,
hospital tackles aren't coming. Sorry. I just read the super chat as well. That players are not going after other players for the decision of the owners. So that's not happening either.
It's the whole thing is that
big up Paulio as well. Anyway, I see you on my streams as well. Big up.
Yeah, for me, the only thing that comes as a problem is the dream of a grassroots football club coming all the way to the Premier League and then going into the Champions League or the new Super League. That part is a problem. And I know Gary Neville has got an invested interest in this because he's got, Salford FC? So he's probably thinking, by the time I get to the Premier League, it ain't going to be the Premier League anymore. It's going to be some makeshift league with Leicester City or West Ham at the top, and we can't even qualify for the Champions League. So, you know what I mean there.
Yeah, that's you know what, you hit the nail on the coffin there. I just right now over these years, every club always want to be in the Champions League. They want to qualify for the top 4. Some want to play for the Europa League. Right now, that's just gonna kill it. Period. Like, people want obviously for them to get rid of the Champions League now. It's like, what's the point fighting for a top 4 all for this little stupid league? You're just killing you're killing the game. And then, of course, people are now, in the way they're looking now is a business view. It's all money making, yeah. And to them to think money first over history, I'm sorry, may as well give up.
Now with history, bro, like, there's been competitions in the past that have come and gone. The Europe, what's that Cup Winners' Cup? That went, there's competitions that have come and gone in the past. I think what they're trying to do is commercialize this and then make it into like an exclusive league, market it across the world, where you have international fans across many different regions, as opposed to like a localized a club. And they're going to sell it. You see people in London having like LA Lakers t-shirts. It's going to be that sort of case where you're going to have international fans across the whole world and be like, they're going to.
Yeah, but we already have that.
Yeah, we pretty much already have that. So I think this way was already going to begin with. And to be fair, if we be honest with ourselves, the younger demographic are not as invested in football as we were when we were young, where there was nothing else but football. Now there's social media, etc. So they're probably thinking I can tell you for free, the NBA is growing rapidly. So they're probably thinking, look, you can sit here and drag the teams at the bottom, or we can start our own league, pump as much money, generate as much fans as possible, and have a global audience. I can understand where they're coming from, but from a purist perspective, that's where I'm a bit clashing. So I'm 50-50 in this.
No, mate, you're completely, and that's the point of view that I'm also coming from in terms of the purist perspective. The reason I support Chelsea, I'm 27 years old. The reason I support Chelsea because I like the color blue and I idolize Gianfranco Zola. we were moving like Villa and them, man, back when I first supported Chelsea, and I was just lucky that what Roman Abramovich came and he picked us and he decided to pump his millions or billions into Chelsea. Like, we are lucky as Chelsea fans. We're in a very privileged position. Imagine if that didn't happen and we're sitting there, we're in Aston Villa, or we're a team that's got massive history like Everton, and we're being told, all right, so these men are going to break away, regardless of if the Premier League don't kick them out or whatever, but this league is now becoming devalued. All the history, all the tapestry that we've kind of put into this is kind of being torn away because these guys want to go and make their own thing. Do you know what I mean? I'm just coming from a point of view as a general football fan. We are very, very lucky that the people who are part of the Super League support 12 of the biggest football teams in the world. Like, the majority of fans don't. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I get it from a Chelsea fan's point of view. We're very, very lucky, but from a whole holistic football fan's point of view, it's not good, man. It's not a good thing. I don't think from my personal point of view.
And that's why I'm angry. I'm looking at the other clubs, not us. Like I said, I'm looking at what's going to happen to Villa, to Leicester, to Brighton, those clubs.
That's the thing. Like, if you're Leicester as
harsh.
well,
It's really harsh. Again, it just comes back to the bottom half of the team. Those teams at the bottom, especially, they're thinking they want to be in the top 10 one day and maybe be in the European competition. They won't even feel a dime. Honestly, football will just be mostly focused on like teams like us. I know it's harsh I'm saying it, but as it's true. But it's actually true. Football is going to be based on the top 6. United, Leicester, Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Tottenham, and then the rest of the team is all just going to be in the shadows. It's harsh, but it's true. That's the way it's looking with this new league. And it's just killing football big time. And again, it's not. It just doesn't go. It really doesn't go whatsoever. Because what will happen now is every time you turn on that television, you're going to think, oh, okay. I'm gonna watch this game here. This big team going on here. It's very nice. Yeah. But whereas other people don't even turn to that Wolves and the bottom half of the team because they won't even be on TV to just generate that TV commercial. It's hard. It's wrong. Ethically, it's just wrong. And Gary,
at the end of the day,
nailed what he said about it.
There are loads of miscommunication all around. I mean, to be fair, like, fans should have the right to voice their opinions, voice their rights to choose if it's going to happen or not. They have to, because at the end of the day,
you know what the board's going to say? We pay the wages, not you. Even though technically fans do pay, in my opinion. But the there's so much wrong with this. But I think that wouldn't work because I think 99.9% of football fans don't want this to happen. So it wouldn't.
I'll be real. Can I be real?
Are they gonna care?
The wave.
I'm
riding the wave. Like I'm not completely against it. I'm not for it. I'm just running with it. See what happens. Because this doesn't hurt us nearly as bad as it hurts nearly everybody else. So I can really look at this from a bit more of an outside perspective and just think, let's see where it runs. Because this has hit everybody out of nowhere and everybody's shocked. So for me, I'm not going to sit here and just completely throw it away because we're here now. You can hate it all you want. We're going to be here as a club. You can say you ain't going to follow the club, but don't lie to yourself. You will. So let's see what this is all about. This sounds terrible, but if this is the future, we have to make it work. So we're here.
So you're just saying take that L, innit, and move on.
Is this even an L from us? Yeah. Like, this is only really an L of the support.
Pulisic can't even play one game a month without getting injured. So imagine
get a bigger squad, get the money for it.
Yeah, imagine him playing like 3-4 games a week. Like, what last?
Be finished.
It's so dangerous, though. It sets a dangerous precedent because we're all talking like, oh yeah, it benefits us. The next thing you hear is like, all right, calm. So there's going to be 3 games a year that's played in the Middle East. There's going to be 4 games a year that's played in the US. And by the time you realise that the games don't belong to us no more, we can't go watch Chelsea. We can't go watch our team that will be priced out, and we won't be able to go watch them anyway because it'll be in different countries. They'll export the games to the highest bidder because that's what's happening right now, and that's what you need to kind of stem at the source, and that's why there's been so much outrage because where's just going to go? Is it going to be football eventually goes to the highest bidder no matter what? Like, what benefit if a country turns around to Chelsea or to Juventus or to Man City and it's like, we will give you X amount to come bring the game to our country? What's going to stop the clubs being like, yeah, we're going to do that? And then it doesn't become localized anymore. It doesn't become a game that belongs to supporters. It becomes a game that's run by the elite clubs. That's the biggest problem I've got with it.
Has that already happened with pre-season in international countries like America and things like that?
Yeah, but pre-season is only summer. It's like summer vacation. Yeah, basically, you got like they're getting prepared for a new season. This is big games. Playing in the Middle East, if it happens, playing in North America.
Yeah,
here's the thing. That would be terrible if it does happen, but we're speculating. I don't know for sure if that's happening. No one knows for sure if that's happening. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, which is why I understand the worry. And if that does happen, that is a fucking big problem, and I completely understand that. But that's a but. For all we know, it could be home and away games on midweek.
Sammy written super chat.
That's a problem in itself in terms of traveling, and I understand that. But if we're also going to talk about taking football away from the fans, it's not going to impact Premier League games. So you will still be able to go to Premier League games as well. And I know that's still not the point, but we're not going to act like it's impossible for fans to go to any game as a result of the Super League. There's a question of if you'll end up missing a few Super League games because they're going to play in other countries. And that's a problem, and I get that. But let's not act like football's getting completely taken away, because it's really not. At least not until it's been confirmed.
This isn't like the NBA or NFL. American sports have forced revenue share and salary cap. European football is just more capitalist, clearly.
What do you mean, bro?
Maybe that's one of the terms of the switch, though.
I'm not an economic person, but what is a revenue share?
So so basically, that's a sick super chat, because the model of football is completely different to these American sports that they're trying to base the model off of. We use cold hard cash to buy players. Like, the richest teams can buy the best players. But if we're now moving into this isolated league where nobody can get promoted or relegated and the finances are fixed, then the model has to be reshaped completely. I don't know if transfers will still be able to be a thing, because it's like Lewis touched on the beginning, you're going to be buying players that aren't in the Super League. Our teams that are not in the Super League going to be willing to sell players that are players to teams that are in the Super League. If they're going to be trades, is it going to still be the same academy system? Where are the academies going to play? Are they still going to play in the standard PL2, or they're going to go elsewhere? I mean, the whole thing changed completely. And football, I don't know if it's braced for it yet in terms of the finances of it. Transfers would be a very, very interesting thing to see, because, like the super chat said, the revenue share model is completely different in football. There's no salary cap. If you've got the most money, you can buy whoever you want. But if this is a fixed Super League where no one can get promoted or relegated, then that model has to completely change.
Bruh, have you seen their website? It's all set up and everything. They're all set to go.
All written in the stars. It's just all written in the stars.
Of course.
Bound to happen.
They've been planning this for some time, so I don't know. Of course they'd have a website ready to go. Do you know what I mean? Like, also, boys, I think we're forgetting this would change how Chelsea is run. Like, think how often we change our manager because we're sitting 10th in the table. If we can never be relegated from Super League, we have to say manager.
Tuchel's to be sacked by next week for not winning the Super League Cup, innit?
Honestly,
I just hope this is an April Fool's joke, though. Yeah.
Please.
It's not an April Fool's joke. I don't think so.
It's not an April Fool's. Unfortunately, it's not an April Fool's. I mean, the other perspective you think of it. The other perspective you could think of it is that if you think about, there's no financial fair play. Okay, so the top 6 teams can buy players. They can buy the league, right? So they can add depth to their squad. Now, obviously, with the idea with this European league, maybe potentially if there is still a Champions League, maybe they can use them players. I mean, there won't be like a rule where you can't use a certain player for a certain league or a certain player for one, so on and so on. Maybe this could be a chance where, you know what, if we're gonna able to add players with no with no financial fair play, maybe there's a chance we can get the academy players. You'll set your third choice players from your bench or something to start that game. Maybe it could be a competition where people might not take serious. They might just think, you know what, this is like our Carabao Cup here. Let's just think, you know what, let's put our third choice, second choice team in this competition and see how we do.
Honestly, they wouldn't be doing it if it was going to be like a kind of like Premier League 2 type thing. They want the best players to be playing against the best teams every week to make the most money. Yeah. Like think about the TV rights are not going to want to see like your BTEC players. They're not going to pay for that, are they?
Yeah, only that. I might be horribly mistaken.
Sorry, I feel bad calling BTEC players. That's harsh, but you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, of course, I get what you mean, but you never know. They might just turn around. They might just turn around the corner and think this project was a bit of a joke. Anyways, it didn't work. You know what I'm saying? Things like this may happen, which for the best. But honestly, obviously, it could be that case where if you still got Champions League, people still will turn to the Champions League, and of course you've got this European Cup, so you can open up for other worldwide to get, add more people to the commercial side of it, and of course you want to generate more profits and try and compete with the NBA, NFL, how they market the sport. If you think of it, if they're gonna try and do that, maybe they can. But again, I think that's just them hyping it up and think, this could be the next big thing here. It could just all be walk and talk, really. But obviously, that won't happen straight away, just like that. It'll take time. It'll take good time if it's going to hit that level as the European Champions League was. You know what I mean? I'm telling you right now, if the Champions League is still around, I think people will still tune into the Champions League because that's like the first European Cup anyone knows. That's something I can't write off, unfortunately.
Realistically, this would replace the Champions League, though, wouldn't it? Why would you have the Champions League and the
It's going to replace it.
You can't travel to Europe.
It's getting played in midweek.
It's going to replace it.
You can't travel
and
too much.
Also, they wouldn't call it the Super League if it was going to be academy and like Premier League 2 players. What's super about it then?
Yeah.
Look, I might be totally wrong, but apparently, if you win the Champions League, you get 100 million. And if you win this new Super Cup, you get 500.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So all the best players are going to play. Let's be fair. Clubs are going to win.
Do you reckon?
If we win it,
how
then
the big teams
just then quit. Take the money, then it's worth it.
Yeah.
As a one-off.
Sammy, if we one season we quit, then we just
one season. The nation
secure the
get
bag
more.
and leave.
We all know, though, Tottenham are going to finish last if it happens.
They're still not going to win it. It's another chance.
Yeah, can I just say, why are Spurs in it? That's
Spurs don't have any fans.
Can I just say, Leicester should be in it over Spurs. They're on the Premier League.
Spurs and Arsenal are in there just because we need someone for everyone to beat the shit out.
No,
of it.
marketing.
Spurs should not
They want to build their confidence, don't they? Since we might not take the Premier League as much serious as this is killing the game now, they might just think, you know what, we might add Tottenham into this, and Tottenham might be thinking, yeah, we need a bit of trophy here, since the bottom teams, the top 6 teams are not really,
Leave Aston Villa. Even Nottingham Forest are bigger clubs than Tottenham.
Yeah, but I don't get the marketing point of Tottenham. Like every team I can see.
This is all business, isn't it? It's the Daniel Levy himself talking about profits, make all profits and money.
Yeah, I know
Arsenal,
what you mean.
Arsenal not good anymore, but at least they're going to get a lot of African fans. Like
Arsenal are
Chelsea's got
like they don't already have.
Like we've got the Americans. United's got the Asians. Like it's good for marketing, but I don't get why would you have Tottenham?
Yeah,
I think
like, I like Leicester deserve to be there, but
Leicester definitely deserve to.
I don't
over
think
Tottenham.
they don't have any fans abroad, and I think that's why. It's only Algerian Boris.
Who's it? Tottenham.
But
Tottenham, yeah.
You got to look at like the value of the club as well. As much as we want to banter Tottenham, and they don't win no trophies. Like Forbes came out of the list of like the most valuable clubs in the world, and Tottenham are in there, and Leicester just aren't. So like Tottenham were always going to be in it. The big 6 in England just generate so much money, and where the Premier League's the biggest league in the world by a country mile, and Tottenham are one of the biggest teams in there. Tottenham are always going to be in there. But in terms of on the field achievements, Leicester are a bigger team than Tottenham on the field. But,
Super League founder clubs are going to receive 3.5
Thanks for the sticker, bro.
infrastructure.
Definitely said it wrong, but
thanks. The impact of the pandemic. So we're already going to have a decent amount anyway, just for even being involved in this. 3.5 billion is getting split between the founder clubs.
Gary Neville was saying, get all the trophies that the Big 6 has won, and don't count them anymore. You know what I'm trying to say?
Allow this passion merchant, man. I can't be.
I can guarantee there'll be some protests tomorrow.
No, that's
there'll
rubbish.
be some protests.
Lewis, I'll make the video interesting tomorrow, innit? If there's a riot.
There's meant to be a protest at 4 p.m.
Telling you right now, I'm telling you, if we had no pandemic whatsoever, and this actually was announced when it's like normality, what's going on, I guarantee you, the whole world people would be going on streets protesting about this stupid league.
No, there'll be
honestly,
riots on
man.
the street.
This is not 3.5 billion each team. Come on, that's in general. Sorry, people in the comment section.
But another thing I think we've got to think about, as I was thinking about this when I was reading about it, like the relationships that we've got, that Chelsea have got with other clubs that we send like our academy players on loan to. Think of the way that clubs will portray Chelsea. Like look at like Mason Mount, for example, like the way he developed at Derby. If we want to send any of our academy players to like those clubs again, they're gonna be like, "Fuck off!" Like, we're not taking your players. We're gonna destroy any credibility we've got because it'll look like we're being selfish and looking after each other. So I think, the money's good, but we got to consider the kind of relationships we got with clubs.
Good that you said that, actually. Good that you said that, because says we do get Conor Gallagher to potentially maybe become another Mason Mount, someone we got through the academy, but we still want to climb the ladder. They can just tell us, you know what, F off. Why should we take you? All you care about is money. Why should we help your players? Honestly, good that you mentioned that. And this just comes back to the killing the game. You're killing the game where people realize that the people money-making teams are just selfish, right? As much we fans, we disagree. The people that's making the money up top, upstairs, they do not give two tosses. And again, when you got that much money around you, money talks, and whatever money you got, you can do what you want with it. I mean, that's the reality. But again, it's like, if you're gonna try, but when it comes to developing a player, it's not gonna work, unfortunately. And as the guy said, he's right, man.
Yeah, and for sure, and like this, the reason why a lot of people also like football and find it as an escapism is because it's one of the only things in this life. I know there's so much bullshit that surrounds it, but so one of the only things in life that is fair. So it's a meritocracy. So if you're good and you ball on the pitch, you get your rewards. We balled on the weekend. We beat Man City. We're into the final of the FA Cup. This is just like an entitlement. It's like, there you go. You're in this league forever.
Exactly.
Like like. You don't have to be good. You have to invest well.
There's no carrot or stick. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. You're just there. And you're rewarded for being a historically big team. Like it's
a sense of entitlement. 100% sense of entitlement.
Yeah, that's it.
And it won't mean anything. Like it won't be like the Champions League. Oh, it's against Real Madrid. We have to win. Let's give it. It won't feel like that.
So Lewis, are you for it then?
I'm not for it. Like, I'd rather we keep the format that we already have. But if we're going into this, I'm looking at the positives of it, or trying to. And we're in a much better position than a lot of other clubs would be. So, like, from a Chelsea perspective, it's just not as bad as people are making it out to be. That's all I'm saying.
The thing I'll agree with you.
Perspective, it's terrible, and I completely understand that. But I'm looking at this from Chelsea. From Chelsea, it's not really that bad.
Well, for any of the clubs involved, it's not that bad. They're rolling. Like
everyone involved in the Super League, it's not really hitting you like that. It's if you're a Leicester City or any of the teams below it, you're pissed.
Yeah,
I know. I know.
For sure.
Yeah.
You guys have the Chelsea app, right?
Yeah.
In the statement,
they've just released a statement.
Yeah, Chelsea released the statement.
They released it like
They released it hours ago.
Yeah,
I can't believe it, boys. I can't believe it. What are we thinking? Honestly,
just to touch upon what you guys have said in regards to the loan and why the other teams would be like, wow, like it's unfair. You have to understand, with their teams, everyone's in this being selfish for themselves. So they're probably thinking, if I can get a player that can bolster our team, that we can get promoted, it's beneficial to us. They're not thinking, oh yeah, you lot do whatever. That's not how it works. They're thinking that we need to get ahead of, we need to get into the Premier League, we need to get into the top four, whatever. So they're probably thinking, we need players, and the loan players are a quick way to get to that level. So they won't be thinking, nah, you guys are in the Super League, bun you lot, because that's detriment to their own club. They won't do that. But yeah,
are you sure though? Are you sure? Because I feel like with clubs lower down, emotion rules more than economics.
Nah, money talks. Money talks. Imagine you're in the Championship club, right? Let's say it's January transfer window. You need one or two players, an extra one or two players to push you over the line to get into the Premier League. Yeah, and a Super League club comes to you and goes, "Hey, we've got I don't know, a Christian Atsu or players like that," and they say, "Look, here you go, we give you that player." Are you going to turn around and say no because you're in the European Super League? We don't agree with that league, so that's why we're not going to take you, and we'll risk staying in the Championship. No, because they know that when you get to the Premier League, it won't be that super mega package that they would have got before, but there's higher money in the Premier League. So they probably it's a calculated risk. Be like, you know what? they're ruled by their pockets, and lowly players will bolster their squad to get more money into their pockets. So they're not going to do anything to detriment their club. That's from the lower club's perspective. But for the Leicester Cities and them lot, like they're pissed because they can't get into that league. Even I don't, and also as well that the problem is that what incentive are the people who are in the league, unless they're like players that like are in the Champions League, for example, at the moment that can't play to that level anymore, and they just get like sort of castaways. Imagine that to like a Leicester City. Like, what benefit would you want to go to Leicester City for at the moment, as opposed to a Super League club?
I really want to know what's Abramovich thinking.
He's loving it. He's loving it.
The latest super chat though is interesting. The guy who said, "Do you lot still remember Blockbuster?" That's my bloody point. That's what the EPL will be, where the new Netflix be Brave and Crumble. That's one thing that I will slightly agree with, is because we've got so much furore right now. It's almost like the black cab and Uber. I remember when Uber come about, everyone's like, "Nah, black cabs. These guys do the knowledge test." Blah 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 blah. And then you know what? Now who grabbed the cab? Nobody. Everyone's jumping in the Uber. Who goes Blockbuster? Everyone's using Netflix. So that's one thing. We're all angry right now, but like in 5 years' time, and this is what they know. In 5 years' time, when the Super League is a normal, we'll be like, "Oh, this is lit." Like, and that's the biggest shame, because I'm angry right now, but I know myself as a Chelsea fan. When we're back, like playing Real Madrid in 5 years' time, and it's sick and it's whatever, I almost forget about how I feel right now. But how I feel right now is important because, like I say, the tapestry of football is sacred, and we have to remember what brought us to this point. And to just disregard that because this new shiny toy has come about, I think we'll be doing like the game a bit of a disrespect.
That's a key point. That is a key point. A lot like that new Super League. A lot of people would say, put it this way: we saw Barcelona, the PSG versus Bayern Munich the other day. And PSG versus Bayern Munich, a lot of people say, yeah, that's one of the best games that we've seen all year round. A lot of people agree that. But imagine watching that kind of football every single week. Like there'll be little
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll probably say it would be boring. I'll be honest with you, people would be bored of it.
Yeah, we can have a proper rivalry with Barcelona now instead of hoping we draw them every season.
Yeah.
Oh god!
Look at it from both perspectives. Oh, it's not going to be as special anymore. Why do people jizz off El Clasico every season then? Apparently that's still special.
I haven't watched it.
We'll get used to it. We'll adapt. Like, I don't think it's as deep as people are making out to be, at least from a Chelsea perspective. Unless you're talking to me about from a perspective of football, that's not really that deep.
Alex looks like he wants to punch you right now.
No, it's not even. No. I Lewis, from a Chelsea perspective, I completely get it. But in terms of football, I just don't think. I think
you're correct.
Look, remember Bournemouth? Yeah, Bournemouth. Like early 2012, they were like going to get relegated from League Two, and then they made their way through the leagues, and then they potentially could. They were going to win the Prem, but you never know, right? Players like Jamie Vardy that came to the Football League, like the beauty of football is you can do that. This league would basically be entitled, and not gonna lie, like you look at the Big Six, you're thinking, yeah, we're the Big Six, but like we're not the permanent Big Six. The Big Six should change every single year, and they're not going to do that. So it's just too entitled. It's a money club. Don't like it. It's not good.
Well, I do hear that. That's why you're right from a football.
Tomorrow's video is going to be interesting. It's going to be Quaco versus Lewis, apparently.
Oh, it's
outside the bridge.
Is Quaco coming?
No, Quaco.
Oh, Quaco. Sorry, my bad.
Quaco can come if you want.
Nah, fucking. That's what I was saying from a footballing perspective. You are correct, but from a Chelsea perspective, you're kind of fine. Yeah, it is a massive fuck you from a football perspective. I'm not even going to try and sugarcoat any of that shit. But it's just you have to try and look at the positives from this.
No, I'm trying.
Not changing. This isn't moving. We aren't going to come out of this now. Like this has happened within the space of 24 hours. They've left the ECAs. They've left all UEFA competitions now. Well, as of the end of the season, because we've still got the Champions League run, and also we aren't getting kicked out.
Eat you alive. If people, Twitter's going to eat you alive when they find out that you're not like crying over this.
You think Twitter hasn't been? Have you not seen my
You look
tweet?
like this
No. I've already seen.
that one back.
I was reading
No.
some of the
Yeah,
comments to you, Lewis. Yeah, it's mad.
Bro, they put the club announcement. I dropped an Andreas Christensen photo underneath. Like, I'm just letting this run. We aren't going to change this.
Also,
this has been done way before we even had any sort of interest in this, or we even thought it was going to happen. Like, fucking Arsenal probably sacked 55 workers just so they could get involved in this competition. This has been going on for months. This ain't just a joke. They
need that. They just need that one competition to make may have a chance here.
We aren't going to change.
Gunnersaurus got cut for
literally just for this. This is happening. So at the very least, if it ain't hitting us, fine. I can look at it from a bit of a selfish perspective. Yeah, it is selfish. And also, if people are saying, like, I agree with this, I don't agree with what we're doing. I think the old format was fine and we didn't need to change it. But we're changing it, and we're changing it for the financial benefit of the club. We are only selfishly looking at the club. So if that's what the club is doing, and that's what Roman Abramovich is doing as well, because we know Roman Abramovich is only going to look at what's best for the long-term future of the club and the sustainability of the club. Here we are. We ain't moving.
But to be honest, I think Roman would have been the first person to say, I want to get involved in this. He needs return on his investment, boys. He spent so much money.
Apparently, we were one of the last English clubs. Apparently, we're one of the last English clubs to get involved.
Really? I'm so surprised by that.
I've seen comments that we got bullied.
Yeah,
it's not bullied. It's not bullied. It's because we saw this was inevitable and it was happening. It makes no sense for us to be on the right side of it than the wrong side.
Yeah,
so we jumped in and we got involved too.
No, yeah, that's
it's true. I'm telling you, this is gonna happen within 2 years. Watch when you played Arsenal at the MetLife Stadium. It's gonna happen.
Bro, do you think that
don't we like? Oh,
It's
it's
just
just gonna be it. We're winning the European Cup, eh?
We'll be watching indoor football. We've seen
what one? What European? What one?
But what Lewis is saying is correct. The clubs that had to lead it had to be Liverpool and had to be Man United because they're so big and they're such monsters and they've got such history that they can take the hits for it because they're going to be what they are. They're always going to be successful clubs. Chelsea and Man City saw the lay of the land. Like, this thing's going to go ahead anyway. So let's just sit back, bide our time, and let this thing go ahead. Like, Bayern Munich and PSG are sitting out. But if this thing goes ahead, they're inevitably going to be part of it because they need to be part of it. But I mean, this stance right now saying,
oh my god! Oh my god! Okay, on the context of this though, so who is my girlfriend meant to be in this situation?
It's my best friend.
Meant to be.
I don't want to say, but
because no, I get what he's trying to say, but like, I want it to be at.
I want to know, is it true, Lewis? Is it true?
Nah, not even, man. Like, that would be my best friend's problem if that was true. Look, I'm trying to figure out the context on this though. This is a funny comment, but I don't really see how it's relevant in it unless any of you guys can link this.
He's basically just trying to say that, like, this is a shit situation. You're trying to find the positives out of it.
Yeah,
it's a situation for football. Yeah. For Chelsea, not really as much.
I'm a Chelsea fan, but I'm also a football fan. We're all football fans.
Yeah.
So we should also care about football as much as we care about Chelsea.
And from a football perspective, it's fucked. And I agree with you, it is. From a Chelsea perspective, though, it's not really as deep as people make it out to be. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
The chat's killing me. Also, can I just say, like, and this is definitely not a popular opinion, I'm going to say anyway, like, we've got to be realistic about how often this will change. That's kind of big six, right? Because you look at all the clubs in England, right? As Chelsea fans, we've got to be honest, right? We weren't a big six club always. Got to be honest about that, yeah? So, like, it has to be reviewed.
Oh, yeah, Paul, it's all love. No worries.
Like Leeds, as much as I don't like Leeds fans, big club. Like, it is a big club. Like, Nottingham Forest, big club. Everton, big club. Like, there were big clubs that have been left out. So, like, they're not a top six club now, but, like, in 2-3 years, like, I just don't think if they're going to do it, they can't just let it be a permanent thing. They've got to review it every, like, 2 seasons, 3 seasons, to be honest. Being honest, I don't want Chelsea to be chucked out, but we've got to be honest about that.
Yeah, I feel like
that's one I can agree with 100%. We weren't really the best team. We weren't the top 6 teams before.
No, before Roman came
we weren't
in.
top 16, but we weren't the top 3-4 team we were until now. before Abramovich came in. So you know, it is one of them, isn't it? But we have to just bear in mind. So again, it'll take time for us to just build our way up. And again, obviously with this new Super League that's forming, there have to be some form of way to like work around, you know, for the other teams too, because obviously for the football side of it, it's again, as Lewis said, it's harsh on a football terms, but as a business view, obviously it's good for us because again, it's just more income for us, isn't it? Just more income and more revenue for us.
It's more football too. We're gonna have more games with this as a result as well, and we should be able to have a bigger squad too to make up for that.
Yeah, that's
I
what
agree with this.
That's the thing, is Lewis. I was gonna say, Lewis, if you look at our squad, you compare to our squad, don't think of just quality as well, Lewis. Think of it, our squad, compared to your teams like United, City, and Liverpool. They got a bit of depth in their areas. We don't have that much depth, and I'll be honest with you. As much as I love to get the academy just to play the stupid European Cup, this special European little league that they're forming. Ours is not big as theirs, so I think that's
it's not going to be a little league
on.
though. Like it's not. We're not. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think we're going to be playing these players. Like it's not going to be.
But
like
I think people won't be used to that though. I think people won't be used to it as a big league. I think people are so used to the Champions League as the big, you know, European.
This is going to be like the champion. This is going to be like the Champions League. They're not going to be playing like our reserve. Like this is going to be the best starting 11 for each team. It's got to be. Otherwise,
do you remember that friendly game we did in America to stop the anti-Semitism stuff?
Yeah,
Sarri wanted
the World Football Challenge thing.
Sarri wanted to play a weak team because we had the Europa League coming up, and by contract, Sarri had to play Hazard and top players by contract. And I have a feeling this is going to be.
I think Kepa. There's something Kepa's contract.
Yeah, good that you mentioned that. Now, good that you said that.
Fucking Kepa.
It makes sense.
I need to stop playing Kepa.
Kepa and goal,
I do agree with this. I'm against this Super League. Let me get it clear. I'm against it. As a football fan, as a YouTuber, I can't be asked to do more content. Like, I'm tired enough. but guys, you don't see how long it is to run a channel. But I am grateful, obviously. But I do agree with this guy at the same time when he says we don't run the club, we shouldn't talk. I think as fans, we do have the right to talk about the club we support. And I do believe the fans are the most important in anything.
That's the problem, Sammy. There's lack of miscommunication.
Only for Roman. If you said the super chat with United, Arsenal, I'd be like, yeah, Kroenke doesn't care about you. Roman cares about this club, so that's why I do believe there's something we don't know. There's a plan in 5 years' time. I don't know.
Sammy, when you say he cares, when you say he cares about this club, what do you mean?
But Roman, okay, he's so. I don't know if it's his personality or he's so rich. He's happy to not make profit at the end of the year. And there's so many small things Roman does. I'm not the biggest Roman fan. There is things I do dislike about Roman, but there's small things people don't know. If you sit in the East Lower at Chelsea, at the end of every season, he gives away scarves, Chelsea shirts. He does something free. Chelsea's one of the longest football teams in the top 6 that's had a price freeze on tickets. There's so many things Roman has done that other football.
No, I get that. I do get that.
I love Abramovich.
Capped at £10, like other clubs wouldn't have done that. So he does love the club. He can make money, and he chooses not to. So that's why there's something.
Sammy, I need an interview from him. Like, I need Chelsea to publish like new statement and Roman Abramovich sending us.
He doesn't like the media, does he? He never ever talks.
No, good luck getting that.
He rarely does talk a lot.
Barely does. He barely talks. That one he did when he said about Lampard, that was probably his first statement he's said for a good while, long time.
Is he even allowed in the country?
Yeah.
He's back from England still. Sammy, when you start your football team, should we just do Blues Fans TV FC and support them instead?
Oh, go on.
But I'll be honest, guys, if the Super League offer me $5 million a year, I'm joining that league as well.
Oh, God.
But just to make up like a fight, I think
apparently the Super League's meant to be paying fan media accounts to promote them a bit more. I was like, hurry up and give me your number,
big up the Super Fan League.
Lewis, is that why you're for it? Yeah.
Something.
I can see the positives of it. That's all. That's
Yeah,
all.
should we do a
totally
call out?
Not be trying to
Should we do a call out?
audition.
Super
Yeah.
League. Do you want to sponsor Blues Fans TV?
Blues Fans
I'll do
TV
the
again.
most. I'll be the biggest pro agenda ever, everywhere.
Boy, there's gonna be a Super League of football fan channels. That's really what's happening.
There's gonna be one channel. What, Lewis, Sophie, Robbie all together on that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of just the Super League, I think the big driving force, I think it's because of the Champions League. What they're finding is that the Champions League, the best teams are not always winning it every single year. Bayern Munich got knocked out this year. Some people say they're the best team in Europe. Like, they're probably thinking, in order to be the best, you have to be literally every single one of the best. And that's that. I think the drive. I don't think Chelsea were, or even the English clubs were initially the driving force behind it. I think it was basically Real Madrid and Barcelona, because they kept getting knocked out. But Barcelona and Real Madrid won the Champions League in the last couple of years. I ain't gonna lie, this Super League probably won't be happening. But because they kept losing, particularly Barcelona, then they were the main people that would be like, yeah, we need to get the Super League. And I think they got so much power that they can get this kind of stuff done. I think they were the main culprits behind it.
Yeah.
But don't you reckon it's gonna be harder to win the Super League than the Champions League? Don't you think it's gonna be harder to win the Super League than the Champions League?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
of course, because you're beating every single one of the best team. Yeah, like we just beat Porto.
Yeah, you're just going against the tops. You're basically just going against top teams. That's best top European teams every day, every week, week in, week out, all for one big trophy, basically. I mean, that's where the challenge lies. Because you think about it, right? If you think about it in this side of it as well, it's like you're going to face, you're scheduled to face PSG. You're going to face that team again the week after. Then you got to wait that team the week after that. And it's like the other big team, you got another bigger team like Bayern, for example. You got to face them twice. Maybe you have to do it the week after that. And that's just happened on a repeat. And again, that's where it's going to be a lot harder than the Champions League. But I just think personally, since we've been so used to the Champions League for over 2 decades now, I just think people will it'll take time for them to get used to the new European League as a new European cup for them to watch or get used to. Because again, the Champions League, it's been on for so long, honestly. 70, as Fergie said it, for 70 years of heritage and history, you know, it's all going to go down to the trash or for the new European League. People, I don't know, some people, there's going to be a bit of a bit of split, unfortunately.
You're right.
Some surely players like Mason Mount.
Lack of miscommunication. That's it. Lack of miscommunication all around.
It's going to be a wild one. But the thing is, like, the way that people view football now anyway, in terms of like the stats and stuff, looking back on it, we almost act as if the football started in 1992 in terms of that's when everyone counts like Premier League
100%.
And that's what's going to happen now. So like you talk, obviously we're Chelsea fans, so fuck Harry Kane, but Harry Kane's chasing this Alan Shearer record or whatever. What happens to all of that? And like, what happens to like the guy who put the super chat on the screen before? Do the players want this? Players understand the history of football. Players want to play in the Premier League. Players want to win the Champions League. I saw him interview Mason Mount saying that he wants to win the Premier League over the Champions League. So they're clearly invested in what they're playing in. What happens to that? What happens to all of that? It kind of, I wonder how we'll perceive these competitions look like in 5 years' time in terms of what the Premier League actually meant or what the Champions League actually was, or will we act like that football started in 2022? So it's just like there's so much to consider with it, and it's going to be a lot to take on board. But it's clear that based on what's on the screen right now in terms of competition format, it's going to be similar to the American model. So there'll be a playoffs, and I know they'll call it like the quarterfinals, semi-finals, but essentially it's going to be a playoffs, and it's going to be something that's going to be completely commercialized and exported to every country in the world, which initially I think is a bad thing. But like I say, I'm probably going to be a hypocrite in 5 or 6 years' time. I'm going to be like, this shit is lit. So it's peak right now, but it's only going to go one way in it. So
look, guys, I'm going to have to say something. Whether we like the Super League or not, we're going to be in the Super League, probably. We're all Chelsea fans. I don't come. I'm not from London. I've never been to the break, but I love Chelsea more than.
How much are they paying you?
Well, as much as you guys. Whether you're playing in the Premier League, whether you're playing in the Super League or the Mars League, I'm gonna still support Chelsea. So at the end of the day,
Yeah. I disagree with people saying I'm not going to support Chelsea ever again.
Oh, I'm not going to support Chelsea
behave.
anymore. Shut
Yeah,
up.
it's just emotional.
But surely there's got to be like,
Think
you know,
about how many times
objection.
we've been angry at this club.
But Sammy, surely there's got to be an
Ray Wilkins
objection, like
getting sacked.
say no.
Lampard
At least like
getting
someone to
sacked.
say no though.
With Mourinho buying dead players, we've been angry at the club so many times. We all love this club, and you're going to be watching the next Chelsea game in the Super League Cup. Like, just behave.
Oh God!
But
You're acting like it's
surely-
inevitable. It's not,
Yeah.
I really hope it's not inevitable.
Surely that
Oh,
there is something that we can do though. Like there's something we can do that to stop this madness though.
Do what? All I'm seeing is a couple protests outside Stamford Bridge, and it's like, lol, you thought this was made for fans to come and say, nah, we ain't gonna have this. Like, come on now.
The only solace that we can take from this, and the only hope that maybe fan protests might work, is like, look how quickly their man turned around on Project Big Picture or Project what was it, the pay-per-view thing. They within a day or two,
Oh,
they're like, you know what, we're taking
yeah,
that 15
good
quid
point.
away.
Oh,
People
yeah,
ain't paying
Yeah,
for
but that's because they're trying to make us pay 15 quid per game. That's a
Yeah, that was crazy. That was
that.
crazy.
Think
Can
about
you
the
imagine? Boys, sorry to interrupt, man. Sorry to interrupt, but can you imagine Project Big Picture to actually happen, where you basically get rid of your FA Cup, Carabao Cups. Obviously, it's that one that United and Liverpool voted for, donkeys. Can you imagine, right? That actually went forward. It'll be nearly as bad as this. It'll be
Wait,
worse
is
than
that wasn't that just about price?
That was
what do you mean
the-
get rid of the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup?
There was this one, I can't remember what it's called, but basically there was this project they were about to introduce where the Man United and Liverpool voted for it, where they get rid of the Carabao Cup, you get rid of your FA Cup, you basically you have two, you change the Premier League format, and I think you get rid of the I think it is the Community Shield as well. That's still very important for some form clubs, you know what I'm saying? But again, that again is
that was a light jab. That's
bad.
That's the early stages of this. They were testing the waters. Like, even though the reaction was negative, they were testing to see how people react. And obviously the reaction was adverse, but they went ahead with it anyway, because a lot of what they were saying in that has got similarities to what is in this in terms of the Super League. But
therefore you can just see it there. Yeah. Agree one for there's that reaction you can get out of it. But again, it is similar though. But again, people will still not be happy if it did went forward. So we have to think of it like, you know what, this might not just be as bad as that one that happened a few months ago, you know, but obviously it didn't go ahead. But those people that have been so used to the Champions League, it's gonna take time for this to get used to.
I think it's wildness and madness that people really expect this to run concurrently with the Premier League season. That's just never, ever going to happen.
Really?
It's just not going to, because
why?
I could see it happening.
It might for a year or two, and then the clubs will be like, "Yo,
it'll be like the Champions League. It'll turn into Champions League.
It's midweek to weekend games.
Yeah.
That's it. It's not because Premier League, the Premier League season is from August to May.
Yeah,
and roughly that's going to be about 30 something weeks. We're looking at about 15 match days in the Champions League. So that's not Champions League, Super League. So that's going to be 15 midweeks.
Yeah.
You take into account that we have some midweek fixtures as well. It's not really that deep. You just have to extend your squad a little bit, and we have the money to do it.
Well, let's just do the maths right now. So it's 38 Premier League games as currently constructed. There's going to be 18 Super League games minimum for every team, because there's going to be 10 teams in each separate league. You can play each other twice. That's 18. So that's what that's 56 already. And then that's then a completely different conversation about if we're going to go ahead with the FA Cup or Carabao Cup. That's a completely whole different ball game. I feel like within a year or two, they'll do concurrently for maybe a year, and they'll be like, "Yo, JP Morgan are paying us this amount to not have to play these games anymore." I feel like it's just inevitable. There's going to be a breakaway completely, and we're not going to see these teams in the Premier League anymore come like 2025 for sure.
I agree. Like, if they're joining the Super League after a couple of years, and this is the league format, because
that's not the real troops. No way, that's the real troops.
I'm only going to add troops. As I said,
No,
way
that's
the real truth.
that is gonna be truth, man.
Cool. Troops, if that's actually you, send that. Click on this.
Bullshit. No way is that true.
Hey, by the way, can we talk about how? No way.
We
If
can
that
we
is-
can
if
ask
that is
troops.
so
If,
big
we
up
can ask
already.
troops if he
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
thinks
that's
that's included.
At least it's another fixture to embarrass Arsenal again, even though.
Oh my god, it is.
Oh, it is actually him.
Wow, no, he just said it's me.
Top 6.
No, but it's
It's gotta be
verified.
him.
Come on, man.
Wait, let me go on the channel and see if he's got a tick. He doesn't have it.
Oh
Wait,
god,
how do you
Just the
even
guy
check
messaging.
that?
Yeah,
this
it's probably-
chat is cracking me
Butter,
up.
how do you fall for that easy?
it's
Oh,
probably
see,
recorded.
what's up? See, he said, what's up?
Yeah,
Okay, no, if that's real, he'll WhatsApp me because he's got my number. He'll WhatsApp
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, that's true.
Or message me on Twitter.
he's busy running a zoo. He's not watching the Chelsea stream, is he?
Yeah, the whole
Wait,
the whole,
so how many Champions League
well,
games are there then at the moment?
Total 13. Total.
Oh, it is him. I'm dead. It is actually him. It's actually him.
No, it's not.
No,
Show me.
It is. It's got the
Oh my
tick.
god.
It's got the tick. I'm dead.
Don't lie. That's
It
not.
is.
No way.
Yeah,
No
Lewis.
way.
Lewis, tug him.
If it's
No
not him, then this
way.
guy's got us
Oh,
here.
yeah.
We're all talking
Is it
about it.
really?
Yeah, it's got the tick on it.
Oh, the link's here. So if it is, it'll hop
Here
on.
he is. But this one might not be the real way because I feel like everyone's
No,
going to join
that
him.
was the same one I was
So
about to
awkward, bro. If it's not him.
This is so awkward. That's fine. Yes, we can go on this till sunrise.
I'm dead.
Is that him then?
Is that troops?
Oh man, I'm dead.
Oh. Hey, Lewis, send it to him. It is. It's got the tick on it. I swear down.
1 second. If it is him, I'll send it over.
He's got the thing.
God.
Oh my god.
This is so awkward. Like, Alex, to answer your question, the Champions League games total 13. 13 games total, including the final.
Okay.
So if you want to include like first leg, so 6 matches on the week, in the group stages, and then 2 plus 2, 13 total.
13.
All right. So
Yeah, I think this is going to replace the Premier League, because when you're in the Super League, why would you be in the Premier League?
no, wait. Why would it replace the Champions League? Why would it replace the Premier League?
No, but if you're in the Super League, why would you want to be in? What's the point of being in the Premier League? Because you're both in 2 league competitions.
Is that true? I bet that's his son, though. Is that his son? That's his son. Right?
No. It was Troops in the chat. It's Troops in the chat, but the guy joining now isn't Troops.
That's his son.
No, it's not.
That's his son.
What?
That's an Arsenal shirt.
That's his. Yeah,
it is.
I'm going to
That's
send
his
it
son. I
to
can
him on
see his
Twitter
shirt.
if it's him.
that's his son. No way, man.
That's
Man's
not.
on the
That's
phone, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's the guy.
Okay,
Oh, no, no.
no, it is. It is. It actually is. Oh, my days. All right, cool. I'll send him the link once that.
I don't know who this is though.
No, I think that's the guy earlier. That's the guy earlier, Sammy.
earlier. Get that guy out of here. That one.
Get that out.
Yeah, piss off, you clown. There we go.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no, I've sent the link now.
Oh yeah.
Got too many people.
No, he's in the back. Oh.
There we go.
But yeah, the whole thing's just sad.
Yeah, no, I just sent it over now, bro.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Alex, what's your point though about the Champions League game? So I think we're gonna. I don't know. Like you said, to 13 games total. So if we do look ahead, so about 24 games ish. You reckon?
Yeah, I think the point was whether it will run like simultaneously or not, and I think it will replace the Champions League, and I think it will run alongside the Prem, especially if 14 teams are not in it. So of course, so we're never going to play any of the other Prem teams. How would that work? I don't.
So in my opinion, I feel like this thing's going to be a complete clean breakaway. So I can't see in the long run how the Premier League and the Super League are going to coexist in the same world, especially when if it is as profitable as they expect to be. I can't see why they'd be so willing to kind of give their time to a different competition where they can make the same amount of money, if not more, by just being exclusive in the Super League. The TV deals that they're going to get strictly from Super League as well are going to be absolutely crazy. I feel like they might run it concurrently for like a season or two, but I reckon when they realize they can still make the same amount of money, if not more, by being exclusive and not playing against other teams, then I feel like they're gonna do it.
That's true. That's true.
Yes, bro.
Yes, bro. What are you saying?
The box office.
Yes.
What you man saying?
Yeah, not much.
Not much.
What's your thoughts on this Super League then, as Arsenal are there?
It's a fucking joke. It's a fucking joke thing, blood. Fuck these man. These man got me drinking fucking Henny, fam.
To be fair, your owner start this debacle though.
Huh?
To be fair, your owner start this madness though. Your owner, technically.
Are you mad, our owner? It's fucking you lot, blood.
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
No, apparently, Truce. Apparently, we were one of the last people to sign up.
Yeah, ain't Kroenke meant to be one of the chairmen for this or something?
Yeah.
No, he's not one of the chairman, blood.
I
It's
thought
fucking.
the ones that's behind
The
it.
Glazers and
I heard-
Glazers are obviously linked on
I
this.
heard this
The
fucking.
Glazers too.
Yeah, no, it's
One
United
sec.
chairman.
Nah, it's the
guy.
United. It's Glazier, it's Perez, and it's the fucking Juve, man.
No,
Yeah.
that's 5, including yours.
I swear I heard Kroenke's name.
Nah, but I only see
Yeah.
Fabrizio. Nah, but I only see Fabrizio put out Demtree. I ain't see no one else, blood.
Let me
All I see is
It's Perez. It's Perez, Real Madrid. It's the Juventus guy, and it's obviously Liverpool and United back there. Those are the four man.
But the only three Fabrizio's tweeted is Perez and what's his name, Agnelli, and then
Agnelli.
obviously Joe Glazer.
Yeah.
Nah, Kroenke's meant to be vice chairman with all three of them.
He probably is, blood. It's all Yankee man, fam.
Yeah.
Perez set to be chairman.
I'm going back on Wednesday. Them man are fuck, blood. I'm going back on Wednesday. Them man are fuck, blood. I'm going back on Wednesday, fam. What, we're sponsoring it?
Yeah, Barstool. I bet you're somehow involved in that.
Whoa, fam.
You
You
know,
mad, blood.
everywhere.
It's probably you, man, blood.
Nah,
It's probably Sophie.
the whole
You
thing is
understand? She's at the front. Oh, darling, Euro Super League, darling. Oh, darling. Oh, we're in Madrid today, darling. Oh, Wednesday, we're in Turin, darling. She's going to fucking love it, blood. Hella shopping trips, fam. Fucking hell, blood. Her thing's gonna go mad, blood. Hella selfies everywhere, blood.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But
The Christians will come running as well.
The whole thing.
How
is
you man feeling, though?
yeah, and it's wild.
I don't like it.
It's wild. I can't
Even
lie.
as YouTube, imagine more content to do. That's bare long.
That's
Rob,
fine
it's
by
dead.
me.
More watch-alongs and that's bare long.
Nah, but they're saying man can't play in the Premier League.
I don't believe
Nah.
that. No, that's bullshit.
They're stunted.
I
They're
say
stunted.
that don't make sense for the Premier League because that's the only marketable thing that they have. If they lose the top 6, then they're going to lose the TV money, and then they make the Super League even more marketable because that's the only place where you can find it. So I don't think that's happening. I think that's false threats. Same thing with international players not being able to play the World Cup or anything like that. I think that's a lie as well. All of that's just negotiation tactics for me.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with the international one because there's no way they're going to lock off the Euros and the World Cup. But in the Premier League, I can just see that being a cold war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
They even talk about stopping Europa and Champions League, blood.
Yeah, no.
That's not happening either. TV money in itself, you're going to miss about 6 games off that. All of this is about money, so they aren't going to try and lose more money. So this is why I don't see any of this happening.
But they're getting offered a lot of money, blood. Each team gets like 435 million.
Yeah, we're all getting offered a lot of money, which is why we're actually in the best situation out of anyone else in football right now. Which is why I'm saying from a club's perspective, all of us, we're not really in the worst situation. It's everyone else who's not involved in the Super League that's in the shit situation.
Yeah.
Nah, but it's dead, blood, because then all them sick away days that man would have
Exactly.
are gone, blood. You understand? Even though I'm in America, when I come back to London, obviously football will be open next season. Imagine they actually start this thing in August. I like going away to them little grounds, blood, in the FA Cup. Get me? Like when we went to Sutton United, I fucking loved it, blood. Old school ground, 2,000 fans. There's only 100 away, man. All that's gone, blood. You think I want to go Turin every fucking... I want to go Turin every... Wednesday, I'm in Turin. Saturday, I'm in Milan. Fucking Wednesday, I'm in fucking Madrid. Saturday, I'm in Barcelona.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro.
You'd enjoy that more if it was an Arsenal, though.
Nah, blood. because you have to realize as well, yeah. Look, do you know why England are dumb going in? Do you know why? Let me show you why. Yeah, I'll show you why England are stupid. Yeah.
Go on.
Brexit. Yeah. We already are gonna have to have. We might need visas to get into these fucking European countries now. Yeah,
that's true.
So how are the fans gonna get into these countries, blood? You're gonna have to tell me to buy flights. You gotta take PCR tests to get out of the country. This corona thing, that corona thing. You understand? Self-isolation. How early am I gonna have to go away to actually watch the fucking game, blood? Then when I come back, I gotta self-isolate. So then I might miss the game on the Saturday, blood. You understand?
I think Tubes, you are onto something though. I mean, Brexit
100%.
overall, if you look at what's going around the world too, it has played a big factor to it. What's going on now? Whatever you said, that is actually true. And I think that's one thing that I can agree with 100%.
But the clubs,
I don't know if people open their eyes about it.
The clubs will pay. Like, they don't care about the fans, evidently. They're just going to pay the football. The fans are there or not there. Period.
100%. And also, everyone likes to run jokes on Spurs. Everyone likes to, like, they don't win trophies. No one's going to be winning trophies. You know what I mean? How many of us are going to win trophies when we're in the Super League and Barcelona?
It's a good point. 100%. It's a good point.
Can't run joke. You know, we can't run joke on Spurs no more because we're not winning anything. Like, that's
dead. Like, you're in football to get. You're in football to win trophies. You're in football to get to finals. You're in football for that kind of shit. All this shit is gone. It's gone. It's gone. You can't get even the whole the fucking founding members can't be relegated. So we're just sitting there every year. Like, we could lose every game, but then we know say next year, we're still good to go. This ain't NBA, blood. This ain't the NBA, bro. This is football, blood. You understand? You're taking the soul away, blood. Like all the Leicester and their man there. You understand? Bournemouth when they come up from League 2 and climbed the whole thing and came Premier League, stayed in Premier League for how long, blood? The Vardy story, man was fucking doing up Fleetwood Town in 2011, 2016. He's Ross in the Premier League, blood. All that's gone. You understand? All them man there that dream about playing at the Bernabeu and them thing there. If you ain't playing for certain man, that's gone. And then you have to look at it because what they're saying, man might say, oh, that might not happen, but it might happen, blood. Imagine they start saying, yo, man can't play international football. So then are all the great players going to go to like Leicester, West Ham, Everton, like them kind of teams like Atletico Bilbao, Valencia? You understand? Man will start going fucking Napoli and them thing there. You get me? All the greats will go there because then all the shit man will be in the Super League catching bare bags. Like their salaries going mad. But then all the good man who actually want to play ball, and you grow up as a kid, you're like, yo, I want to kick ball for my country, bro. You understand? You're taking that away from me now, blood. You understand? The next generation of football. You could end football now, bro, because man will be looking at it and saying, whoa, what am I training for, blood? Just to play like these man every week. And then if I don't win the league, I don't win nothing because I can't play Champions League, I can't play Europa League, I can't play Carabao Cup, I can't play FA Cup, I can't play the World Cup, I can't play the fucking Euros, I can't play the Copa America, I can't play the Gold Cup. All these the African nations, all these things, blood.
Yeah, no, it's dead.
I'm gone.
It's dead. It's dead.
It's dead, bro. It's dead, bro. Even man that are involved in this Big Six bullshit is dead for us, blood. It's dead for man, bro. It's dead, bro. You think I want to be playing these fucking man every week? Every week I'm playing the same man. I'm playing these man for the rest of my life, blood. For the rest of my life, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have fucking Madrid, and I'm gonna have Barca, and I might have Leipzig, I might have Bayern. You understand? But then I'm missing out on other things, blood. But I'm missing out. I love London derbies away, West Ham away. You understand? I'm missing out on shit like that, blood. For what? I don't benefit from it. My pockets ain't getting bigger. It's them man, their pockets getting bigger. It's a joke thing, blood.
Yeah, it's wild. The whole thing
I agree completely.
Even the conversation that people have was like, oh, who's the greatest Premier League striker of all time? Is it Shearer? Is it Henry? Is it Drogba? Those conversations are dead from now on. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, like the whole conversation around football, the whole trophies, the whole this, it's all dead because it's all one competition. The whole thing's messed up. Like, and of course, in 3-4 years' time, like when we got about this conversation, like, oh, it's lit. But we've got to remember what brought us to this situation, which is like the history of football, the Premier Leagues that you won, all the seasons that you won trophies. That means something. And now this competition is dead. It's going to be dead. It's going to be dead.
Also,
obviously,
How do you hold managers to account? Think about it. Like if they can't get relegated from this Super League, you can have managers that would just stay there for year on year. Like that's just silly. Managers need to be held to account, winning or losing. Like you need the carrot and you need the stick, and you don't have that with this at all.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The whole thing's just wild.
It's perfect. Why change it? That's my question.
I love that.
From a
now
cup
Troops is on.
perspective. My only thing is the Premier League, like we should still be able to have. I still don't see the Premier League leaving regardless of this season. I could see us potentially leaving either the League Cup, maybe even the FA Cup, but I don't see us leaving the Premier League and just solely focusing on the Super League. And I don't see us getting kicked out either because I think that's suicidal from the Premier League.
I don't think we should get, all these cups we've been playing in every year, these League Cups, Carabao Cups, right? That's what makes a club history, regardless, because it's trophies. It's a trophy, you know what I'm saying? But for this little thing to take these little cups away from some stupid European league, yeah, which comes back to what I was saying, it really does kill the game. It just takes away fans' pride, the game's pride. All for what? Money, greed, own people, those hierarchy people that's making money, forming their own league, right? This special league, right? Trying to compete with NBA and NFL's marketing, and right? It just baffles me. Again, it's just, why would, again, like you're saying, why would you change something that's already good? You know what I mean? Why would you want to copy NBA and NFL anyways? Their market is completely different to ours. But then for people like to think, again, for a business view, right, it's good, right? You for the revenues and the commercials, it's really good, right? However, you need to understand it's a football club, it's football, it's not NFL and it's not NBA. They're two different games, bro. You can't copy them. And again, for these lot to compete worldwide to NFL and NBA, I'm sorry, it's just stupid, personally. And obviously, coming back to what you were saying, for them to get rid of the Premier League, to ban that, I think personally, it could be lies, right? But you can't get rid of these trophies all for one little league. If it is true, though, if that rumor is true, I'm sorry, but you just killed off football, period. And I can't see fans going to football games. Honestly, what's the point going to watch your team week in, week out, getting battered from PSG, Bayern week in, week out? Think, what will we do this week? What will we do going to this week, right? What will we do facing this team? Will we beat this team? Oh, we're not going to beat this team. Oh, yeah. And we just play for one Premier League. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, it actually doesn't make sense. So I think there's something on that line that's got to be negotiated from the people that's formed this stupid league.
Yeah, there's a press release on this as well, from the actual league itself. There's an actual press release from their actual website saying that this league is going to be official. So it's one of them ones there, isn't it? Like, at the end of the day, I agree with what everybody has said. Like on Twitter, I went absolutely mad. I mean, like, it's just disgusting, man. Like, to think that we're gonna do this as a football club and let the fans down, because people. I think what they need to understand is the fans is for the football. Football is for the people. Like without fans, you wouldn't see the game as it is. So for these clubs to portray the fans like they did tonight, it's broken my heart, man. Seriously, man. It seriously has, man. It just shows that the very few in the game want to have a lot of power, a lot of greed. And to be honest, this doesn't benefit anyone in any way, shape, or form. It doesn't benefit the Premier League. It doesn't benefit the clubs joining this league. It benefits no one.
It benefits the clubs 100%. Yeah, financially.
It just benefits those evil little rats that's making money.
In a bit, guys. Take care.
In a bit.
Love, guys. Love.
Like, from a financial point of view, it does benefit the club, because you hear about a rumored £3.5 million, 3.5 billion that's going to be handed to each club. But in terms of the rest, in terms of, like, from a competition point of view, from a player's point of view, from a fan's point of view, it doesn't really benefit them apart from the money. Apart from the money, what else can you say would really benefit the clubs?
It gives them leverage when they're trying to buy players. To be fair, they want to be in that league. as well. I think.
No, but to be fair, I mean, you guys make good points. But to be fair, like let's say they have the level of high play, who would want to join a league where there's no real competition? I mean, let's be honest. Like you're hearing these threats about players could be banned from playing for their countries if they play for these clubs who are in this league. So if you're a player now and you're looking to join, let's say Chelsea or any of those clubs, would you really want to take a risk for your career? Say, you know, could I join this club? But yeah, I could miss out on playing, you know, in the Champions League or playing for my team or playing for my national team, or should I go to another team that doesn't pose that risk? So it's a real sticky one for the players and for everyone else involved or looking to get all these clubs as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for the players, it can. I can see it from their side. They're probably thinking the international part is where we get a bit sticky. The Champions League part, if you're just replacing that with the European Super League, I can get my head around that. But the international football is a bit mad. But with regards to just the players, the benefit for them is that there's a few drawbacks, but one of the benefits is that they get to play with some of the best players. And you see players go play against like a Barcelona and they swap their shirts to Messi. Imagine playing against that sort of caliber of players regularly on a week by week basis. That is sort of one of the benefits. You get to play amongst them because that's what players they want to play in the best team against the best sort of players, and that European Super League would mean that basically. It's sort of like an automatic way of getting that approach. But that's
it's also money.
I'm not for it. I'm not against it, but I'm on the fence.
I was on the fence beforehand, didn't it? Like I was on the fence, but it was like the more I thought about it, the more it was about, this is about money. This isn't about competition. It's all about the money.
Yeah, it's all about the money, and also the benefit the players will reap is the money as well. If you look at the highest paid players, or highest paid athletes in team sports, it's the NBA because they've got the least amount of players in it. With this Super League where they condense it down, there's only going to be 20 teams. The wealth is only shared amongst 20 teams. The players' salaries are going to double, so that the financial reward they're going to reap is going to be maybe enough for some of the players. Obviously, if you want to go and further yourself on the international stage, you have to think about that. If FIFA do hold stead with the view of not letting players play internationally, but I think FIFA are going to fold because they want the best players to play in these tournaments. If a World Cup comes along every 4 years, then they're not going to hold fast and be like, because you're not part of Uefa or you're not part of the Premier League, we're not going to let you play. FIFA will fold. The biggest sticking point is going to be the Premier League and see if they can coexist with UEFA or coexist with the Super League. But FIFA, I think the international thing, FIFA will fold for sure.
Yeah, same. Well, big up you guys. I'm going to cut you. This is my Blues Fans TV debut, so big up you guys.
That's right, Ibrahim.
Big up you as well, man.
Again, bro.
100%.
Cool, nice one.
I'm interested to see what Tuchel's gonna say tomorrow.
It's gonna be full.
Is he gonna back the Super League or is he gonna go against Abramovich?
I think
guys, obviously got to plug the channel quickly. Kwaku versus Lewis tomorrow outside Stamford Bridge. So make sure you tune into that, everyone.
Ding, ding, ding. It's going to be.
And also, though, I think one of you said that the players doesn't have to know because of their contracts and that. They need to know technically.
Yeah.
Or is it? They actually know about this going to happen though. They actually know.
Of course, they definitely knew. They definitely knew.
Briefed. Because
don't
forget players have to travel away from their families. They have to have their passports all in check to travel. Like it's not like an easy process, is it, to do all of this? So they're going to be briefed well in advance.
Yeah, and also like agents really run football these days, and the agents would have.
Yeah, that's very true.
And they would have let the players know. The players would have definitely seen this coming on the horizon, and the players just play though. They're essentially like kids who've made it and they want to play football, so they want to play at the highest level. They might, as much as I was talking about the history of the game, they just want to go and play at the highest level. So if the highest level is the Super League, then that's where they're going to play. Really, truly, I don't think there's going to be much resistance from players.
Because they're working more, they can request a higher pay rise, isn't it? And I think the clubs will pay it because they're getting more money as well.
Yeah, the money will go up. Bro, the amount of money that we're going to have to pay in TV subscriptions is going to be wild. That's going to be the next thing that's going to be mad. It's going to be a Super League TV and you're paying what, like £200, £300 a year for it. That's what I think is going to do.
But you know what, though? I think we've got to be careful just assuming that players are just in it for the money. I think a lot of them will be patriotic. They want to play for their country. And I think a lot of them have grown up wanting to win the FA Cup, wanting to win the Prem. So,
I think that's where
I don't think that's going to happen if the big players can't come. Like, if you can't have a World Cup without Ronaldo. And I think once the big players can't play for the big players, that's when I think FIFA are going to realise they're not going to get it their way. Imagine like Pulisic playing for America.
Yeah.
And if PSG sign after World Cup after Qatar, imagine World Cup with no Mbappe. Like that's how things happen, isn't it? When the power's gone.
Also, I don't want PSG getting any credit for standing with Bayern Munich and Borussia Dortmund because they're
just there because of Qatar, isn't it?
Yeah, they're because of Qatar, because they're one of the owners sits on the board. You hate.
They'll be after Qatar. They'll be joining the league, innit?
They'll be trading so quick. There's no honour in PSG. Yeah, man, it's just been a while. Boys, I'm going to also duck as well. My missus is upstairs.
Yeah, I'm going to end this stream. I'm half asleep.
You guys have a good night.
I can't lie. It's time for us to go to school, man. It's almost done, but yeah.
So, guys, everyone who's watching, thanks for everyone watching, and guys, the panel, as always, thanks for coming on.
No problem, man. No problem.
Nice to see you more. Alex, I need to see you more, man. Never see you. You're really on.
I'm sorry. I'll try and come on more. See you later, boys. See you later.
That's right, guys. Guys, let us know in the comments below. Do you like the super? I was gonna say super chat. Do you like the Super League? Are you in it or not? And make sure you watch our new video tomorrow with Kwaku and Lewis. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite surprised with what Lewis said. I thought he'd be proper against it. I think we're all shocked in that. But thanks, Joe. It's a shame you couldn't be here. We all miss you. But guys, yeah, like I said, make sure you watch the video tomorrow. See, you can tell I'm a cameraman, innit? I'm not good at this stuff. You know what? Kwaku, take over. I'm dead at this stuff.
How the video's coming up this week on Blue Fans TV. It's going to be a big one. Obviously, big news. Chelsea got a game midweek as well, off the back of that huge result against Man City. So make sure you tune in. Make sure you like our video. Subscribe to Blue Fans TV. We'll be back with more videos.
That's how you do an outro, guys.
Guys.